version 7.3. So that is our focus today. Out of that, I already introduced myself. We'll talk about the Stratham Data Hub and how this kind of fits into the whole realm of the Data Hub itself. 7.3 brings together some user experience updates, also allows us to gain access to views. So we have some view access updates. There's a new Stratum Excel add-in. It's kind of exciting. We'll talk a little bit about that and how you can get data directly into Excel. There's also a new Stratum Power BI extension that makes it much easier to drill to views. And so we'll take a look at that. And then we'll take a look at the demo, and we'll kind of go through some of these concepts, and we'll take any questions that you might have near the end of the session. So again, thank you for your time today. I appreciate you attending our webinar. The Stratham Data Hub. Well, this concept, we've been talking about this for a little while now, where we have the application database, the actual application and all the data model that supports the sales analysis, marketing, forecasting, planning, manufacturing, inventory, the whole gamut of your enterprise, and the ability to analyze this data across your enterprise is what Stratum provides within the application data model. And then you got how to get data in and out of Stratum, and concentration on the right hand side are the Stratum analytics using of course the web-based analytics, the interface itself, the web interface. Exporting data to Excel is a very easy thing to do. Putting together dashboards using Stratum's easy dashboard creation utility. Those are all available, and if you're not doing that today, well, certainly get upgraded and take advantage of that, because it's something that is very easy to do and allows you to take advantage of some of the powerful analytics that you have within Stratum today. Down on the bottom is the Access Hub. We'll talk quite a bit about this in terms of the Excel add-in, which is new and exciting. The ability to tap directly into your views directly from Excel. And so you now have this capability of tapping right into your Stratum views and getting access to the data within those views and dumping those right down into an Excel spreadsheet. We'll also take a look at the Power BI connector. It has a new piece available today that allows you to drill to views in a much easier fashion without having to go through so many setup steps to set up the process. It's much easier now. So we'll take a look at that. And if you're not already privy to the Access Hub, as you can see, there's other ways of getting data out of Stratum and integrating that into other applications within your enterprise, or simply sending alerts or email reports to your users. So certainly, that's 7.3 is really, as you can see, is by providing the Excel add-in and easier ways to drill through from these tools, it really provides the next step to getting data out of Stratum much easier. Well, we won't talk about the Analyst Hub so much today, but certainly getting data into Stratum is something that's available as well directly from a spreadsheet. You can import data from an Excel spreadsheet, such as a forecast, a budget, or a plan, and other utilities available here to support your forecasting and planning processes. So certainly, if you're interested in that, contact me. You'll get my contact information here, and you'll be able to contact me and talk and see. We could talk more about that piece as well. Here we have the user experience updates of the new 7.3 interface. And so here I can see that the interface has changed a little bit. So some things have moved around. You've got the ability to now gain access to these tabs that kind of organize your views on the left frame menu. So now you got 3 tabs here. One's called Favorites, one's called Recents, and the other one's called All. So essentially, your any views that you deem or that you've starred as your favorite view is certainly available now in this particular menu, as opposed to where it was before. And then I can click on recents, or I can click on all to gain access to all my views.
I won't.
Just like it did before. Let's see. If you're not muted, if you can kindly mute yourself, that'd be great. Just picking up a little bit of background noise. Another cool thing that I like about this is in the favorites menu, you can actually drag and drop these views around and place them wherever you want. So that's kind of a cool concept, but you can only do that within the favorites tab. So, but I still think it's great that you can sit here and decide what the order of the views are within your favorites area. So good stuff. It looks better, and certainly you can control the look and feel of that. We'll talk about where to do that a little bit later. But these are good things that have been, I thought, that made the left frame menu much more organized. There's a new Stratum, search Stratum views area in the upper area of the interface. So when you log in, you'll see that in the center top area of the interface. And there you can place your cursor and search for any views using any keyword, such as sales or costs, or maybe there's a name of a view that has your name in it. You can certainly just type that in and then click on the little magnifying glass, and it should take you right into the view menu with the list of views that fit that criteria. So it's a great and easy way to just step right in and look for a view that you might be looking for based on a specific keyword or a phrase or a name. So something that's small but pretty significant in terms of value, I think, in terms of just stepping in and finding views very quickly that may not be at your fingertips there on the left frame menu. You also might notice that then left frame menu no longer contains the admin utilities menu. That's right, it's gone. It's been removed. Don't freak out. And all those menu items are available in the upper right hand area. There's that hamburger menu. If you click in on that, you'll see actually quite a bit of menu options, such as access to your help. You can look up about Stratum and the version of Stratum. So all that's available. Actually, some of that was available in the hamburger menu, but they've also moved over the analyst tools and manage things. Manage things, as you can see, is basically everything to do with security, mostly secure administrator type stuff, like adding a role or a user profile. These are things that are typically done by security administrators. However, if you're not a secure administrator, some of that will not be visible here, but you'll still be able to go in and manage gain access to your user list, user links, conditional formats, certainly the view menu if you're a view administrator. So some of this might populate differently based on your role within the application, but essentially, as you can see, the admin utilities is gone and now over here in the hamburger menu. The analyst tools would give you access to, the data copies, some of those things we saw there in the prior screen to gain access to data copy, data import, master file data import, those types of things that would be available in the analyst tools menu. So those are available now just in the upper right hand area in the hamburger menu. And that will allow you to gain access to those menus as opposed to the left menu admin utilities, which has been removed. More on user experience, you'll notice if you go into the view menu, you'll see a run in a new tab button. That's new. So you can highlight any one of the views, for instance, that you looked for. Using your search stratum views. So that's the concept, right? Is to look for your view, find it, highlight it, and then you can click on run in a new tab. And that'll run the view in just a separate tab. I mean, it's really nothing crazy, radical, but it does, what the concept here is that it doesn't, the prior version actually took you out of the view menu. So you actually had to go back and figure out which views that you filtered on, et cetera. It was kind of a pain. So this alleviates that by running the view in another tab. It doesn't destroy the view list that you have here, and allows you to run other views that you might want to run as well. So it's actually a really good addition to the menus. So you can also do that on the right click down here. If you notice, I can right click on any one of my views and I can run those in the new tab. Again, the same concept here, so that you don't lose the area or where you are within the interface. Also, if you hover over a view, it will actually give you more information other than just the description. It actually gives you the description along with the type of view, whether it's global or personal or shared. You can get the view ID number from it, so you can build a URL for view access. We'll talk about that in a minute. It also gives you a quick last used by me date, so that you can kind of get an idea which time, the last time you've actually run that view. So all really good data points on the view itself. And yeah, so that's all new and available in the 7.3 interface. If you're an administrator, you go to the application menu, again, through the hamburger menu there on the upper right-hand corner. If you go to the application menu, you'll notice that there's a Stratum view pane area that's new. And that's going to allow you to customize the look and feel of the left frame menu. So you'll notice that I can change the format or the color, the size, the background, and all that can be changed by using the application menu here. And you can really kind of get a feel for what it can look like there. And choose whatever you want. I mean, we've actually made this look like 7.2 by using some of the color concepts. So it's interesting what you can achieve there. So definitely check that out and customize it to your own liking. Just don't use pink or purple. A little inside Sylvan joke. Nevertheless, view access updates. Here we have more on accessing view, the view itself via URL. This is a little more of an advanced concept here, but you can certainly access a view via a URL. And so if you notice here to the right, I've got a URL that's written in a certain manner that when I click on it, or if I provide that as a button in another application, it'll run the view, and it will include my parameters that I've included in the URL. So that's available. It's easy to build. It's easier to build, I should say, now with some of the new features that are available with 7.3. Gaining access to the URL is pretty simple to do. You can actually right click and get the URL on the view itself, and add in any necessary parameters that you want so that they can be passed. Those parameters can also be fed programmatically. So you can actually take this a step further if you have a CRM system or your ERP. Maybe you want to provide some buttons within those applications so that they can directly open views. And oh, by the way, pass a customer number or an item number or whatever it is that you might deem necessary. There's a lot of information on this in the help menus. So if that's something that you're interested in reviewing in more detail, certainly you could start there. And then if you have any questions or any further need for any services, you can certainly contact us, and we can certainly help you out with some of that. But that's again, this is available. You can access these views from other third-party applications and tools. Power BI actually would be one of them, although we've made that much easier with our new extension, and I'll show you that in a second. Well, I think one of the bigger things about the 7.3 release is the actual Excel connector add-in. This is a pretty big piece here. I think it's really fantastic. And so what you can do now is that you can really drive your analytics by using Excel. You don't necessarily need to go directly into the Stratum interface per se if you don't want to. If you're an Excel user, if you feel at home in Excel, and well, let's face it, many of us do, and we don't really see people moving away from Excel anytime soon. So, why not embrace it? And we've done that. And so now you've got this connector piece where you can actually now connect into the Stratum views and dump the data from that view directly down into an Excel spreadsheet and use Excel for some of its powerful analytical features or some of the new visualizations that they've added. Makes it pretty easy to build some pretty fantastic looking reports right there in Excel without having to go through the extra steps of going through the interface and dumping the data down through the interface. Well, you can do that directly in Excel now. So using Excel to connect to your Stratum views is now a capability. It's cost effective. It's something that you already probably own. You already have Excel, so that's something that certainly you can deem as being cost effective. And again, the visualization and reporting options are pretty much endless in terms of Excel. And they've added some new things, some of the new versions. If you're on Office 365, well, you're going to benefit from some of the powerful features for the analysis and visualizations that they've added. What this also does is it allows you to, it shares a semantic layer with Stratum and Power BI. So that's an interesting concept where you now have this global semantic layer that you can tap into by using Excel and getting more data points for your customers and your products. And this is something that happens in tandem with Stratum and Power BI. And this can be downloaded directly from the Microsoft apps, directly from Excel. So basically, if you're licensed for it, you can just get it today and use it. So that's something that's available directly through the Microsoft App Source, which is something that you can download directly within Excel. And on top of that, so here's some of the new visualizations that they've added. It looks similar to Power BI in terms of some of the things that they've added and some of the things that you can do. I've built this using I'll show you in a second how easy it is to throw some of this stuff together and dumping data down from your Stratum application. And so you can build things like this very easily and very quickly. So, and then finally, the new Stratum Power BI extension. You've got now a piece where you can put in your Power BI reports and provide abilities to drill to views, providing further detail for your users. So you now have a button or an icon that you can place anywhere in your reports, and you can configure that icon much easier today by giving it the URL to Stratum Viewer and providing the view ID. And basically the connector does the rest. It passes the necessary filters. If you select a given item within the report, it will then pass that item to the view. And so it's so much easier to set all that up, and the view itself doesn't need parameters set up, so the filters get passed regardless of whether there's parameters within the target view or not. So this is something that is quite special, I think, in terms of setting up the ability to drill through to further detail by using Power BI. And Power BI, if you haven't used it, is a very powerful visualization tool that Microsoft develops, and we've embraced it so that you can use it directly against our Stratum views as well, similar to the Excel add-in. So if that's something you use and you'd like to use against your Stratum data, contact us and we can tell you how easy it is to get it done, and we can show you how to get that done for you. We have customers using it today. So some of our customers use it primarily as their primary interface and ability to pass data to their users. So it's a powerful interface, and it looks good. So that's my name, that's my number, that's my email. So feel free to contact me if you have any questions or concerns or issues, or if you want to pursue anything regarding the product. I'm your guy. So don't be shy and contact me, and we can talk further about the product. I do see that we have a chat here. Somebody's getting an echo. I'm sorry about that. I don't have I'm not in an echo chamber, I can tell you that. Okay, so let's see. Here's the new interface. So here we have it. As you can see, it looks different, doesn't it? So you've got this new look and feel. You can collapse the left frame menu, of course, and that becomes this thing over here, so that you can always enable it back and make it visible again. There's our 3 tabs. So if I wanted to go into my favorites, there they are. If, for instance, if I want maybe a given view up here on top, I can now drag and drop that, and now my comparative sales view is right there on top. So that's what I was talking about in terms of reorganizing the order of your favorite views. I love this. So being able to drag and drop this, hopefully, maybe They might be able to do that with some of the other menus, but this is a really great start. I love the concept of that. My favorite view, this should be my area. This is my area to manage, and I should be able to reorder my favorite views. So that I've got full control of this menu. I really like that. If I go to the recents, it really probably doesn't make sense to reorder this because it gives you the chronological order of which you ran things. So they've locked that down. And so that's cool too, because this gives me a running tally of all the views that I've run. It's the same thing that you had before, except it's just presented in this particular menu now. And then if I want to see everything and all the different view groups that I have available, yeah, they look a little different, but they work the same way. So if I wanted to go into any one of my view groups, such as my favorites, I can expand those and I get all the different views within my favorite menu. And again, don't forget, you can actually, we can customize this so it can look a little bit different in terms of the colors and the things that you can do here. Okay. So that's a great job I thought that they did here in giving us more of a concise view of things. And again, the admin utilities is gone. So let's go right over here to our hamburger menu. We can see what we can get back home. We can get to our help menu. Notice that we can go to our online help directly from here, ask us a question, go to videos. So if you ever need any help, this is a pretty good place to start. If I need to know what version I'm running, I can go here. User options are more display-oriented options and whatnot. I can manage here. My analyst tools have been moved over here now, so I can get to my broadcast, my actions, my broadcast manager items, data copy, data import, master data import. And then if I'm an admin or a view admin, I can come to my things here, or a regular user for that matter, and I can get to my user list, my user links, global conditional formats. So they've done a nice job, I think, of just getting this out of the left frame menu and putting it where I think somewhere else where it belongs. And this makes a lot more sense, I thought. So good stuff. So that's where the interface, in terms of the navigation of the interface itself, it's going to run the same way. You're going to have the same concept of the view. It's not any different in terms of navigation. So I don't think your users are going to freak out when you upgrade. Yeah, they might notice the cosmetic differences, but when it comes right down to it, the view still behaves the same. It still runs the same. So that's all available. That's all the same in terms of navigation. If we go to our application menu, we can see that security admins can come here. They can update the different areas of the views, such as alternating row color, I have a nice little pastel there. I think it looks good. And then there's different things that you can control here for the view itself, and then the stratum view pane there on the left side. So if I wanted that to look different, right, I can actually, I can change some of these things here if I wanted to, and give it a little more color. It looks a little bland. So yeah, you can color that up and make it give it a little more color. All right, so that's kind of some of the look and feel that you have that's been done to the interface. And well, let's take a look at the Excel add-in, so we can see that you can tap into Excel. There is a new Stratum menu item here. So once you download the Excel add-in, you'll get a Stratum menu offering here on the menu area. And I can then go out and grab Stratum data. So when I click on Get Stratum Data, initially it's going to ask you for the URL to Stratum. And once you make that connection, then as you can see, it gives you access to all the views that are available within your Stratum application. You can do a search for certain views that have certain thing like a keyword in them or whatever, and then I can download a new sheet of data. If I want to download comparative sales, I can then click on Insert. It then downloads the data from the view and dumps it right down into your spreadsheet. probably still working on it. And when it's all said and done, you'll have your data dumped down into your spreadsheet from the actual view itself. So all the different columns and all the different rows are available directly from the view. Notice that my column names, I've named them so that they're static. So that's some of the best practices that we recommend that you do when you come in here and design the view. So that's designing the view itself. As you can see, once you dump it down to Excel, it takes on the names of the view, the column names of the view, and the measure names. So, and then from here, I can then build off, from that sheet. So as you can see from that sheet, I've built a little pivot table here. I've got a heat map of my brand sales. I've got a nice looking bar chart of my year-to-date sales by brand. So, all of this was built by if I wanted to just look at specific things, this is all just pivot table functionality, right? So being able to dump data down into Excel and being able to have that data available and bringing in the data directly from the view into the Excel spreadsheet. So that's all available now within the Excel application itself. If you don't have the actual plugin, you can actually get the plugin and you can download it directly from the Microsoft App Source. And you can do that directly from Excel. And so we have all the information that allows you to do that. And so certainly contact us for that if you need more information on whether you have access to this or not, and we can get you going on it. Here's the Power BI interface. So here, the same concept, I've got a Power BI connector, which allows me to connect to my views. So here on the right-hand side, I can see the different views that I've got access to. And I've built this pretty interesting looking visualization over here based on the views that I've brought into my Power BI interface. And so here is my new Power BI Stratum extender. So this allows me to open a view very easily, and I can click on that and it will navigate me to the view, but I can also go in here and configure it. So here's where I would go in and configure it. I would tell it the URL so that when I click on it, it knows where to take the user. I give it a view ID, which again, you can get that very quickly and easily within the 7.3 application. And a few other configuration options, and you're good to go. And what this does for the user is that, again, the Power BI interface, well, it's more visual, right? So it's not going to give you all the detail that you need. But you can also click on, for instance, if I were clicking on Renee and analyzing the numbers of Renee, maybe I wanted to see more detail of what Renee's doing in terms of these numbers, or what she's not doing for that matter. When I can click on the Excel icon or the Sylvan icon there, and it will take me into the view. It'll then run the view. It'll ask for my login, of course. And then it will run the view and provide more detail about Renee, because it will automatically pass a parameter for her ID. And so here we can see Renee has been passed. And so now I can see all of her customer accounts, all of her transactions are available to me. And so this is the detail that you want to keep out of the Power BI interface, right? So, this would just clutter up the nice looking visualizations that you have, and let the user dive into the detail themselves by selecting the things that they have from the Power BI report from a high to a medium level, and then diving down into further detail by using the Excel, that Power BI extension that we've added in. So it's much easier to do this and to configure it. And so that's now available from the Power BI interface. So, a lot of exciting stuff to help your users get the data out of Stratum, to help them visualize it better, and really to essentially aid in their, at the end of the day, to make analyzing the data much easier and more powerful for them. I guess we can open up for questions. Does anybody have any questions? You might need to unmute yourself, but feel free to ask any questions.
I have a couple of questions, Adam, but I'll probably just email you because
that's fine.
It may take too long.
No, that's fine. Yeah, this is available now. So just so you guys know, so that if you're up on maintenance and you're entitled to it. So let us know. We can make it available for you. Email me the questions. Fine, fair enough. And I'll be glad to talk to you about it for sure. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for your time. I know how valuable it is these days. Thank you so much for attending. We have a new curriculum coming out, so we will be updating that, and we have new courses. We have some exciting new things around the corner as well. So just make sure that you don't miss out. So we'll be contacting you. Check out your homepage on your Stratum interface, and the new curriculum will pop up for you. Have a great rest of the week and a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the warm weather. It's going to be cold soon, and we'll talk